Good evening and welcome to Thai PBS World. The ASEAN Summit hosted by Thailand back in 2009 has gone down in history as a disaster. However, 10 years later, Thailand has managed to make it up with a smoothly conducted gathering of the 10 ASEAN leaders. But of course, ASEAN summits are more than just about hospitality and friendly receptions. I have talked to two senior officials of the Foreign Ministry to find out what it means to Thailand to be chairman of the region's most important organization and the host to its two summits this year. We all know that ASEAN doesn't like surprises, but there seemed to be an element of surprise during the recent ASEAN summit. It sounds like something out of the blue that ASEAN proposed a joint effort to jointly host the World Cup in the year 2034, right? So was it a surprise by design or just a total surprise?
The idea of ASEAN hosting or bidding for the World Cup, football World Cup, I think it's an idea that has been broached many years ago, but hasn't materialized. But I think it was a good opportunity at this time that when the foreign ministers got together, when our foreign minister spoke with the Brunei foreign minister, and there was a convergence of views, that it was a good thing. So they discussed during the working dinner, and it was agreed by all of the foreign ministers. And so that was basically, I think it was a good surprise, because I think the idea of promoting sports, particularly in these days, it's something that can join the people together, especially the people-to-people ties and the spirit based on sportsmanship. And so the idea was, again, quickly agreed to by the leaders on the 23rd of June.
And it wasn't in the original agenda of the summit, right?
No.
You are the head of the task force of ASEAN, right? So were you aware that this would be something that would be raised by the ASEAN?
In fact, I'm a backstage boy. And I was told that it was in the air before, but I'm quite happy that this is become materialized in Bangkok.
Okay. So now that the summit went smoothly, so you were, a point man in this whole thing, right? As the chief of the task force of ASEAN.
Basically, I look after those logistic matters.
Okay. So what were the biggest challenges that you had to face?
In fact, this is another round after the last 10 years. It means that our personnel, almost every of us are new. No one was except me. Okay. I was spokesperson at the Pattaya meeting as well. Okay. So it's quite new for almost all of us. The challenge is, from microphone to the traffic police, security, organizing conference rooms, and also given the fact that although the venue of the meeting is among the largest if you compare with other hotels, but it's still rather tight. For example, we have 3 interfaith meetings almost continue one after each other, which involve 10 ASEAN countries and 3 interfaith counterparts. It was held on 29th floor of the hotel, which is very limited in terms of space. And how do we turn this into 3 consecutive meetings of 3 partners, which is almost 40 people, with 4 elevators, so to speak. So there's so many challenges, but after all, I think we have been quite successful in handling all these
Were there any
challenges.
things that seriously went wrong?
Well, I wouldn't...
Anything unexpected?
A lot of things is under carpet, frankly speaking. So many unexpected things happen. But again, we not only have those people who haven't had this kind of experience as much. The number of the personnel of the ministry is quite small. For me, I have to walk 9 kilometers for one day during a meeting. What does it mean? It means that we have to, patch up those surprises.
Okay. You have to make sure that everything went well.
It can happen like a wrong switching. Put the sound into one room, which is for viewing only, for example. This thing happen every now and then. But after all, it went through. Surprise are there. Surprise were there, but we handle it.
Yeah, but that should be a good warm up for the much big summit at the end of this year. A summit with many more people, bigger scale.
Very much so.
Okay.
We are talking about 3 or 4 folds, in terms of size, delegates, medias, size of the meeting, meeting venue, and dimension that we have to handle, from security matters, from even food and beverage, and so on and so forth. So everything is enlarged at the year-end meetings.
All right. So
just to add that sometimes unexpected events happen, some are technical errors, but those are good lessons learned that we can certainly take into account to ensure that it won't happen the next time.
Okay, so back on the substance of the summit. So what do you think was the biggest outcome of this meeting that Thailand as a whole should be proud of?
I think as the chairman of ASEAN, of course, we work with all the member states to ensure that our interests are advanced together. We join hands together to promote the ASEAN community building process. I think in line with the theme that has been supported by all ASEAN member states, our chairmanship focusing on advancing partnership for sustainability, that was carried on, and particularly with the leaders' statement on advancing partnership.
The theme was initiated by Thailand and
for our chairmanship
and approved by consensus by the rest of the ASEAN member countries.
Yes, we prepared this beforehand, and so the theme was announced since last November when the chairmanship handover was done in Singapore. So I think the leaders were able to agree on further steps how to advance this partnership for sustainability, what we should do. So it's a good, basically the decision of the ASEAN leaders now, particularly on sustainability, also on the idea of the ASEAN outlook on Indo-Pacific, and also the need for us to put impetus and importance to the negotiations on RCEP to be concluded within this year. These are the ideas and discussions on the challenges surrounding ASEAN and what we should do next.
We will continue our conversation with Kun Busadi and Kun Tharit tomorrow night. And that's it for Thai PBS World tonight. Thank you for watching.